Everything's going well. Honestly, everything. This is very complicated because it's very big, a lot of different areas. Look, the Republicans have their heart in it. The Democrats they just want to destroy our country. A Democrat wants to destroy the country. They won't vote on it. They don't vote on anything. This is the biggest tax cut in history. Everything is the biggest in history. It's the best bill we've ever had. We can't get one Democrat vote.
When do you think you'll get final? When do you think you'll get final?
Nice guy, Peter. What do you think?
Very nice guy. When do you think you'll get final passage of the bill?
Hopefully soon. Hopefully today, if we can. Final passage. When I say final is, let's take Senate at a time, okay? But I think Senate could be today, and we go over to the House.
And what about Senator Murkowski? Is there any way to placate her?
Who knows? You tell me. You tell me. Is there? Alaska's done so well with me. There's never been a president better to Alaska than me. But it doesn't mean people appreciate it. Have a good time.
Out there. Senator Paul said that that your vote was a bailout for Alaska at the expense of the rest of the country.
Oh my God.
That's what Senator Paul said.
Question was easy. Senator, we've got the.
I didn't say it, ma'am. I'm just asking for your response.
My response is I have an obligation to the people of the state of Alaska. And I live up to that every single day. I fight for my state's interests, and I make sure that Alaskans are understood. I work hard to take care of a state that has more unique situations, more unique people, and it's just different. And so when people suggest that federal dollars go to one of our 50 states in a, quote, bailout, I find that offensive. I advocated for my state's interests. I will continue to do that, and I will make no excuses for doing that. Do I like this bill? No, because I tried to take care of Alaska's interests. But I know that in many parts of the country, there are Americans that are not going to be advantaged by this bill. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that we moved through an artificial deadline, an artificial timeline to produce something, to meet a deadline, rather than to actually try to produce the best bill for the country. But when I saw the direction that this is going, you can either say, I don't like it, not try to help my state, or you can roll up your sleeves.
I think you're missing one.
Which one is that?
Whalers.
What's that?
A new tax break for whalers, right? Whalers. Am I?
Are you talking about allowing someone who uses a harpin to deduct the cost of that harpin?
Correct.
That's included. It's a business expense.
It's a new tax break,
It's
right?
a business expense that was capped at $10,000, and now they can deduct it.
Up to $50,000, right?
Yes.
Yes. Why was that added? I think we all know.
You'd have to talk to the senators.
I'd have to talk to the senators. Yeah. I don't know. It was kind of convenient, Chairman Smith, that was the one addition that you omitted from that list you provided. But I think I would
probably more that I.
Well, that may be the case. I think you're missing one.
Which one is that?
Whalers.
What's that?
A new tax break for whalers, right? Whalers. Am I?
Are you talking about allowing someone who uses a harpin to deduct the cost of that harpin?
Correct.
That's included. It's a business expense.
It's a new tax break,
It's
right?
a business expense that was capped at $10,000, and now they can deduct it.
Up to $50,000, right?
Yes.
Yes. Why was that added? I think we all know.
You'd have to talk to the senators.
I'd have to talk to the senators. Yeah. I don't know. It was kind of convenient, Chairman Smith, that was the one addition that you omitted from that list you provided. But I think I would
probably more that I.
Well, that may be the case.
We're actually cutting spending in this bill, getting rid of a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse, putting work requirements, for example, in a program like Medicaid so that the truly disabled and needy will be able to get better access to Medicaid because those able-bodied adults who are turning down work, the 35-year-old who's sitting at his mom's basement playing video games, is going to have to go get a job again. Those are going to be good things for the economy, but it's also something that helps reduce waste, fraud, and abuse and saves hundreds of billions of dollars in those programs.
Whip Emmer, I should say, you got a tough job. You got the toughest job in Washington tomorrow. How's it going to go?
Oh, I got the best job in Washington. Great to be with you, Jason Dagan. Jason, you would be loving every minute of this. President Trump got his bill out of the Senate. It's back in the House tomorrow morning. We could have a vote on the rule as early as 9 a.m., have a little debate, maybe an hour, and then get to the big, beautiful bill. And we're going to get it passed off the floor tomorrow, Jason.
Do you think you're going to have any amendments made in order?
No. President wants the bill as is. Wants it on his desk by Independence Day. He wants to sign this thing and deliver on the promises that he made to the American people. And if you look at the bill, it basically is 85% of what the House sent over. So there are some changes, but I think they're changes that the president has adopted. He likes the bill. He wants the bill passed. We're going to get it done tomorrow.
To 58%. And again, that's just after 6 months. Who knows if we get the big, beautiful bill, get the economy really roaring, and we're already seeing signs of it. I think it could go well over 60%, don't you?
I think even higher. I think what you're seeing under President Trump is the restoration of the exceptional, extraordinary American spirit. And again, that's what this whole next year is all about, is about bringing the country together. But you do need a strong American president to deliver for the American people, and that's exactly what President Trump is doing. Remember, David, in his first term, he delivered a booming economy, an enforced border, and world peace. I don't know what more people expect or want from an American president. It's literally the job description. He's now delivering all of that and so much more to the American people. And that's why you're seeing a restored sense of optimism, a restored sense of the American spirit. That's why you're seeing military recruitment now off the charts. We're setting numbers in every branch of the military that haven't been seen ever. This is all due to President Trump's strong leadership. We're so proud of him and of America.
Ambassador Monica Crowley, wonderful to see you. Have a wonderful Independence Day.
You too, David. Thanks.
So, if you're looking to make the argument this bill isn't perfect when it comes to any principle, including fiscal discipline, you win.
Well, I appreciate that.
Because it's not perfect. And so you win. I mean, honestly. But to say that, the old Ronald Reagan 80-20, fill in the blank, in not so perfect processes, in a political process, having significant reforms on the fiscal side, like the spending cuts, like the welfare reforms that are long overdue, much needed, like preventing, which 40-some-odd Democrats opposed, preventing taxpayer dollars to flow to people who are here illegally. That, I think is...
No, I'm talking about in the bill.
Yeah.
There's no pork in this bill that we can take. It's a pork-free bill, in your view? That's it? This is just...
If you'll ask me specifics...
What about the Garden of Heroes? $40 million for President Trump's Garden of Heroes. Can't we, why not just say, you know what? We've got a huge deficit, and that's probably not the most prudent way to spend our taxpayer dollars. Let's just reallocate that $40 million. That's a bridge too far for you?
Well, I think there's not a bill that I have read and reviewed since I've been a member of Congress, certainly since I've been the budget chair, that I felt lived up perfectly to what I thought we ought to do in stewardship of tax dollars, and what I thought was consistent with the constitutional scope and of this,
I hear you, Chair,
of this
but
federal
I think
government.
you could understand our struggle because, as I said, last 7 weeks, you've testified a few times here. Every time you testify, this bill gets more expensive, and the answer is always, well, down the road, of course, we could address this, and there are ways in which we can try to identify potential places where funding, where potential cuts can be identified, so on and so forth. Here is an example right in front of you. $40 million. You could take care of that today. There's an amendment, I believe, that was submitted. You could rule that in order and say, you know what, we're going to put that $40 million towards deficit reduction. If you're serious about wanting to address the fiscal health of the country. But to me, I think this bill couldn't be a worse representation, respectfully, of fiscal discipline. You have a bill.
My question to start for you, and you heard Congressman McGovern there, are you confident that Democrats can convince Americans that the impacts of this bill are Republicans' fault? That is a messaging challenge.
Well, look, it's a total party line vote, except that they can't even hang on to all the Republicans. So you've got Senator Tom Tillis from North Carolina, who's essentially surrendering his political career because he can't go along with throwing hundreds of thousands of people in his state off of their health care plan. I mean, you've got Lisa Murkowski, who basically said the only way I'll vote for it is if you cut Alaska out and they deal her a special exemption from the effects of the bill. So it is a horrific bill that is targeted at taking health care away from 16 or 17 million Americans, 14 million in Medicaid and millions more in the Affordable Care Act and in Medicare in different ways. And millions of people will be thrown off of the SNAP program and nutrition. So there's nothing to recommend this bill. I can't understand why anybody would vote for it. Elon Musk.
I think you're missing one.
Which one is that?
Whalers.
What's that?
A new tax break for whalers, right? Whalers. Am I?
Are you talking about allowing someone who uses a harpin to deduct the cost of that harpin?
Correct.
That's included. It's a business expense.
It's a new tax break,
It's
right?
a business expense that was capped at $10,000, and now they can deduct it.
Up to $50,000, right?
Yes.
Yes. Why was that added? I think we all know.
You would have to talk to the senators.
I'd have to talk to the senators. I don't know. It was kind of convenient, Chairman Smith, that was the one addition that you omitted from that list you provided. But I think I would
probably more that I.
Well, that may be the case. I having a colloquy, Chairman Smith.
Is that all it took?
I'm not
I
sure.
mean,
Yeah.
boy, she's a cheap date. If that's
so,
what it took, yeah.
Mr. Chairman.
Of the fact that they have $1.6 trillion in mandatory savings in the bill that more than pays for the additional tax relief that is provided and any spending in the bill. So this is a net deficit reduction in this bill, and it's something that is fiscally responsible. $1.6 trillion in mandatory savings. Again, the biggest thing we've ever seen is $800 billion in 1997, and this doubles that in this one bill. It is a historic bill. It has all of the things that the president ran on. We need to get it to the president's desk.
So Elon Musk has been very critical, continues to be critical of this bill. I think.
What about him? Well, I just don't think he does a good job for the country. He's always a no. I call him Rand Paul Jr. He's always a no. Nothing constructive at all. I mean, just terrible. Thomas Massey from Kentucky. And nothing constructive. I don't think he's a very smart guy. Good education, but that's about it. I don't care about it. I don't think about him. I mean, when I oppose somebody, and for some reason the voters, almost always, they seem to go along with me because they know I'm working hard. I have a nice high IQ. They like that, We like high IQ people. But they know I make good decisions. That's why we have that. Trump was right about everything, right? But, I don't like guys they just keep saying, no, I vote no, I vote no. There's nothing. Let him do something. Let him get what he wants. To vote yes. But if you look at his voting record, it's always against. He's going to have an opponent. He's going to have a big opponent, a good opponent, who's going to win. A poll just came out, and it showed anybody I endorse against Massey loses by 25 points. So he's going to be history, I think.